When you're all the way low.
Oh, my bad. It turned
No, you
down.
good.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, just turn the volume down. I don't hear an echo. Believe me, the people going in the audience, they gonna tell us there was an echo anyway. So they're gonna let us know. You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
weird. I can only turn it down to like.
yeah, it doesn't have to go all the way down.
Okay,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
All
You good.
right.
You good. All right, here we go. Live in effect on this Thursday night. Another wonderful night. Thank y'all for coming in. Come on in. I see y'all coming in for another edition of the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. And the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast, like I always say, we are. I mean, I think you might still want to try to turn yours down, Alex. I think it's still a little high. Just turn the volume
It's
down.
at
Is
it's
that the
at the
low?
lowest. It's because it's very close to.
Oh, to the computer.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, that's right, because you're using external speakers.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have headphones?
Yeah, but I don't have
The jack
the
for it?
the jack. Yeah.
Okay.
I could like move it.
Yeah, see if you can move it just a little bit. That'll probably help.
Hold on.
And while she gets that all together, let me go ahead and do my spiel as y'all know I always do. Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. We are here to uplift humanity. Spread knowledge. Get a better understanding of what we are in life as human beings, and et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of people might say, Zoe, you speak to all these different subjects, all these speak different people, all these different things, and the way to understand that is guess what? Bam, reading my book, Bicultural Living and Leaving the World of Illusions. It talks about my journey, you know what I mean, and being able to relate with people on all different levels all over the earth, you know what I'm saying, and different things. I go into the book tells the story, you know what I'm saying, in much detail. um, as much as I can in a book, one book, of course. But if you haven't already, like I said, go to polka.rabbitpodcast.com and pick up this book. Please follow Polka Dot Rabbit Podcast. Follow Alex here. Um, Go to YouTube channel, please. Subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep on pushing all this good information out to everybody. And I am done. Okay, talking. You know what I'm saying? Of course, somebody calls when I'm trying to get my get my. Okay, there we go. All right, Alex, go ahead. Tell the folks. And as you can hear, once well, never mind. She hadn't said. She had said something. You might hear a slight accent because guess what? This is my first international, my first international podcast. She's up the ways a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and let her tell you who she is, what she does, and et cetera, et cetera. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, I'm Alex. I have two screens to navigate here. So, yeah, I'm an artist, a creator. I create digital artwork spreading the truth, my truth, what I see going on in the world and on a metaphysical level. So, yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really great at intro. I've never had to like introduce myself.
Okay. But yeah, like you said, well, tell them where you from. That's one
I'm
thing I was
from
saying.
Canada.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. She's from Ottawa, right?
Ottawa, Canada.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And funny story. Like if you read my book, I talk about how I lived in London, and in the book, I even think I talk about it a little bit. But when I was over there, French Canadian dude hooked me up with a nice little gig. I was making some loot over there, so I'm always gonna be, um, you know, um, Canada's always gonna have a Canadians always gonna have a good part in my heart. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, like I'm gonna talk about like just Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like tell me about Canada, because I know off camera we were kind of talking about the difference between the states and here. Like how is it growing up in Canada? Like what are the biggest differences you see, and how was your experience so far being in Canada, being a Canadian?
Um, as for my upbringing in Canada, um, well, first off, I'm just gonna say that my childhood was very sheltering. Like I feel like I was, kept in a box. So, the only experience I got was from school or at home, like from my parents, and like I didn't really go out like too much, you know.
Mhm.
I only started going like downtown in Ottawa when I was like about 16 or 17, like for some, like for the first time, just like seeing downtown Ottawa and like how people operate, you know, in Ottawa. But as for the schooling and the education system, one thing that really stood out for me was like the whole Canadian pride. I'm
Mhm.
sure it's kind of like that in America, but
Mhm.
I remember like from a young age, they were just really instilling, you know, be proud of Canada. Like you
Mhm.
should feel lucky. You have a government, you know, you have free health care, you have everything you could ever want. So basically, like, don't ask questions and be grateful, appreciate what you have. And in Ottawa, I think, you know, people are very, very for the government. At least
Mhm.
that's my experience, because most of the people work for the government in
Mm.
Ottawa. It's the capital, right? So
Mhm.
um yeah, I would say it's like very, it's like a pride thing, you
Mhm.
know?
Nationalism, like nationalism.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I noticed that when I was in London. I noticed that they would always talk about. I mean, it was a big thing. Nationalism. It was kind of interesting because the British people would call themselves different. They differentiates it from British to English, which is kind of strange, but it made sense later on. But I always heard like the French, everything is connected to French. Like nationalism was a big thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm French and all that good stuff. Was there a reason why you were sheltered? Were your parents like were they hippies or what? You know what I'm saying? Like was it were they like trying to keep you from the world or like what was that?
uh I would say that they're just very far into their own world and bubble. That, I
Mhm.
mean, I think the major thing growing up was just like the lack of awareness. There
Mhm.
was no awareness. There was zero emotional intelligence
Mhm.
whatsoever. And there wasn't even much logic. Like, there
Mhm.
wasn't even much sense in the household. And so I think like that's why I strayed so far to the other extreme, being like almost like, I mean, me wanting to have all this knowledge and this understanding and this awareness, it's kind of all rooted in like, it's like a fear thing. Like I but it, there's two sides of it. It's like I have that childlike curiosity of just wanting to know more, but
Mhm.
there's also like that fear, because like I saw how like sheltered and ignorant my parents were,
Mhm.
especially like seeing them interact with the world and like different cultures, and I saw the way that they interacted and all that, and it just made me feel so like, ugh, like I'm like, I don't want to be like that. Like I don't
Mhm.
want to be ignorant. I want to
Mhm.
like know what's going on in the world and with the
Mhm.
universe, you know. Let's take it even
Mhm.
higher.
Mhm. So it sounds like in America like you have the preacher's daughter, as we like to say, the preacher's daughter, they're sheltered by their preachers, but they sometimes they were the ones that want to get out and be rebellious, you know what I'm saying, the most, you know what I'm saying, because of that. That sounds like your situation. So when when was it that you made that, that when was it where you were like, yo, something is like, not right about what my parents are saying, something's right about the world, like, what was that? When did that connection come into?
um I would say that I I've always had the intuition, like the feelings of this is not okay. Like
Mhm.
everything, even school, society, this is not okay from a
Mhm.
young age. But for me to actually have like that mental connection and put it all together and trust like my intuition
Mhm.
finally, I'd say it was 4 years ago. So the when I was in 12th grade,
Mhm.
11th grade, in high school,
Mhm.
I guess that's when it felt like I kind of like had a wake up. Like
Mhm.
finally, like I was out of the sleep mode, like I was out
Mhm.
of programming, and
Mm.
finally it felt like for the first time in my life, I could actually think for myself
For
and I
yourself,
could
yeah.
act like I broke free, you could say. Um, and then that's when like, everything just went like down. I was
Mhm.
just like, oh my God. It started with my parents. Like that was the begin. Actually, it started with my health. Like I had a health issue. I had IBS. I had like major stomach problems,
Mhm.
and like I could not go to school. Like, cause I was just so sick. Like every morning, and
Mhm.
then that's what kind of put me down the journey. And then it started being like, oh, my parents, then it was like society, and then it was like everything.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
So you had that wake up call, and then you and just everything like, you started going down the rabbit hole, right? As we
Yeah.
like to say here, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of us here, that are living in this day and time, this age of Aquarius, I mean, we're waking up to the true reality. You know what I mean? We're seeing what's really going down. So, okay, so you kind of rebelled against your parents. You rebelled against society. What next? What is the next step? What?
Hmm. The next step for me, I think that right now
Mhm.
my journey is being the student. Like
Mhm.
because I know that I don't know. Like I
Mhm.
know that I don't know anything. Like I know some, but like there's so much that I don't know. And so
Mhm.
I think in the following years, it's just going to be about like absorbing not only like through the books and the videos, but I think I need to get out into the world because like
Mhm.
it's just the thing is like I think why I'm not able to make that click, like that connection, there's still like such a large gap between myself, like the feelings and the knowledge. It's hard to bridge a gap, and I feel like it's because I don't have many experiences like with
Yeah.
people, with the world. So I'm just it's
You
kind of
gotta do
like
field work.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, do that field work. Yeah. I mean that's no real talk, and that's one of the reasons why and you're right. You're only gonna be able to really get to know it by true experience. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool because you're young, so as
Yeah.
long as they don't try to do nothing else crazy, man. I talk about this. We were just talking about off camera. My man Mark England was breaking it down how only 10% of Americans have passports. You know what I'm saying? And I think I got my passport when I was like 20, my early 20s, but I dipped. You know what I'm saying? I traveled, and that's one thing I would, somebody like your age, get out and travel, see the world before they
Yeah.
try to do another, as Dapu7 says, he says a scam. I love that. He says, before they try to do another scam and shut everything down again.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, get out and just travel. You know what I'm saying? As much as you can. Keep on studying with the books and all that good stuff. So it's 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 really it's good that you have a foundation of knowing that there's much more. You know what I mean? That's an excellent thing. So I'm gonna move forward because, as y'all know, she's a digital artist. Because we're gonna go in to see her digital her art, and she's gonna explain what it is. But so as far as like influences in teachers and books you write, who are some of the people that kind of assist you in waking up?
mm, oh, many, many different people.
Hmm.
I would say Dr. York, he was one of them, but that was kind of later on. I would say a lot of different I watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of YouTube videos. That's actually the way that I learn best, even more so than books, because I actually operate better when I hear somebody speaking to me. But as for like,
It could be historic metaphysics. Yeah, I know you said Dr. York. I know he pretty much covers metaphysics and historic, like the whole gambit. But like I know you were actually talking about Ivan Van Sertima. I guess you were talking about he came before Columbus. I mean, you was talking about that earlier, um, off camera. But yeah, who are some of the other people that you got introduced to?
um, there's a guy on YouTube. I don't know if you would know him, Tony Robbins.
Oh yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah. I know
one
Tony
thing.
Robbins.
Okay. Um, Bobby Hemmett. I think
Hmm.
that's his name.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know Bobby Hemmett. That's my
Yeah.
homie. I love Bobby Hemmett, man. I love that dude to death. I swear to God.
um, Top of my head. That's one thing I need to get better with remembering names.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. It's cool. It's all good. It's all good. So, but let's flip it over. How about artists? Because you are the artist. What are some of your influences? I'm gonna tell you right now. One of the things that attracted me to your art was when I saw your art. It reminded me of two things specifically. It reminded me of the art in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Um,
Oh,
it reminded me like the artistry in that, and also reminded me of those in the '90s. Soundgarden had some videos, and the imagery was similar to some of the stuff you're doing, like the different angles and stuff like that. So that's what I initially thought when I saw your art. I was like, oh, that reminds me of that. But yeah, so what are some of your influences art wise?
well, so actually, there's a guy, he passed away recently, but his name was David Dees,
Hmm.
and he was famous for making like digital artworks, actually like very similar to mine. Like if you were to search up his name and his artwork, you would see
Hmm.
that like there's some major similarities. So he was the one that inspired me to um, think that wow, I can make digital artworks and I don't know, put my vision out there, because I didn't know I could do Photoshop. I didn't know I could
Hmm.
do things like that. So he was a major one. And I would say, um, have you ever like gotten like a caricature
Hmm.
done or like
Hmm.
seen? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
how they exaggerate the
Hmm.
face and they make it look, it's like such an, it's a push, it's a reach, and I
Hmm.
really like that. So I try and harness a lot of that into my art, where I kind of, I'll make the figures like kind of go out there and like in
Yeah.
your face. Yeah.
Like like perception and like dimensional. Yeah, yeah. What also I just thought about this as you said that some of the art. It also reminds me some of the artistry in literally in Alice in the Wonderland. Like different like photos that have the characters and stuff. With the different characters that I've seen in different renditions of Alice in the Wonderland. That as well. Um. So do you want to go into the art now?
Sure.
You want to go? Okay. All right. Let's
Let's
see. Let's see what
go.
we got. Yeah. Let's roll. Let me find it first. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get it. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong one. Did it wrong. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. This is one that really got my attention, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and explain. Well, I guess the people on Instagram, you're gonna have to go to YouTube to see the actual slides. If y'all want to go click on polka dot rabbit podcast.com on YouTube, you can go over there and look at the slides, but she's gonna explain it to you anyway. So you can go ahead.
Yeah. So this is
It,
one of my favorite artworks. It's
It kind of
actually,
explain what for the people that on IG that can't see it. Kind of, explain what we're looking at. Because I'm gonna tell you what I've seen. I'm seeing Uncle Sam snorting up. Looks like
here. I
Black
wanna
people.
here.
Okay, you go
I'll
ahead. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Oh, even better. There you go. See, you smart. That's a Canadian ingenuity. All right. Yeah. Just yeah. Keep it on that. You can just talk about it.
yeah. So where do I even start?
Yeah.
Um.
Hey.
Oh, it's almost so hard to put into words because this artwork especially like it was I mean all of my artworks begin with a feeling, like a
Mhm.
very strong feeling, and then I go into it and I'm like, okay, how do I put this into an image so people can understand what I see, what's going on. And
Mhm.
so I'll just like go into like little parts, you
Mhm.
know. So like obviously here we have Uncle Sam snorting up a man, and then he's holding a piece of cotton, and so it's kind of like this like triple effect going on. So it's like you have like the slaves picking cotton, and then you know you have like the CIA flooding in crack in the 80s, and then you have you know and then you have Uncle Sam snorting up this man, and it's just, yeah, it's just, it's deep.
What's up with why is it why is the what's going on with the Statue of Liberty over there? What's she got going on?
Yeah, so it's the Statue of Liberty, symbolizing freedom,
Mhm.
and then you have the noose
Mhm.
here. So it's kind of like the illusion of freedom, and you
Mhm.
have this man climbing up, trying to get freedom, almost like leading him to his death.
Mm.
Um, and then you have a bunch of people underneath dying for freedom and
Mhm.
getting crushed. And also the whole thing about how like black people built America. And
Mhm.
so it's just kind of ironic that, you know, they're the ones being crushed by this Statue of Liberty.
Mm.
Yeah. And then down here, you have a guy chained up by his hair, and then you have a woman here, and she has a chain around her head, symbolizing how slavery has turned into like it's so ingrained within the mind now that it's hard to break free from the chains within your mind, and then it's almost like the chain has passed on down and through an umbilical cord which is attaching onto her baby's head. um yeah. and then
Yeah,
um
that is deep.
And then you have a bunch of people like they're basically the foundation. They're holding up Uncle Sam, and
Mm.
they're basically for survival, because if you're going to let go, it's all going to crash and it's going to tumble. So where would America be without these people? Because I mean, if they were to let go, what would happen? And then, you know, you have people that, you know, they're helping each other and they're trying to get back up, and then it just being pushed down. It's like almost symbolizing like, you know, you get one guy up and like he's doing good, and then it's just like boom, nope, back down, sorry. And then we have a bunch of people over here like fighting just for a hand to get back up. And then a lady over here, I actually took this photo from, I wish I knew his name. He paints the most amazing photos. And so this woman here with the crown and the shackles, he actually painted this. And so I put it in the art piece. So yeah, she's taking off her shackles and she's putting on a crown.
Mm,
and she's walking down a path of knowledge, which the pathway is actually a book, and the book is leading back to her roots. And then there's um, a pyramid over there in the back.
mm. Yeah, that's a lot of symbolism. I didn't when I saw it, I didn't obviously I didn't know all the symbolism in there, but that's yeah, that's pretty heavy. You want to go on to the next one?
Yeah,
All right. Oh man. All right. What's going on here?
yeah. So this one, um,
You might want to let them see again.
yeah, I forgot. So actually, I want to get what is your interpretation of this?
Uh well, I'm s- this actually kind of reminds me like the movie The Matrix, like when all the kids were um I'm seeing they're all stamped, they're coming out the room, and I'm seeing like what do you call it? Like how hospitals are a business, and they, there's certain way that they, just bring out kids, you know what I'm saying, children. And
Yeah,
also, and I see them scanning them, chipping them, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting from it.
yeah. That's pretty much the gist of it.
Hmm.
I wanted to kind of represent how we're all born into the system, and like we're nothing but just another number, another barcode to
Hmm.
the system. Like that's what they want us to think about ourselves, that we're nothing. Like we're just a human being. We don't have any powers. We don't have any abilities. Like, just
Mm.
go work your job and, I mean, like, reproduce and then, like, die and then do it all over again. It's almost like they want to keep us chained up in this, like, cycle of reincarnation and mundane activities. So, yeah, that was, kind of the representation of this one.
All right, on to the next.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got.
Okay.
Oh
This
man.
was the second digital artwork I ever made, actually. So yeah, this one was I was looking at some old magazine ads from the 50s, and here you can see it says, "Oh, how meat helps baby grow." And here you got the baby eating that canned meat, and then on the can it says dummy, and this baby is just looking like they're
Like a
stripping
dummy.
all the life force out of it, like dumbing it down. Soon the kid's gonna have ADHD, gonna be in school, not be able to focus, nothing. And so here we have like the mom, and she's chopping up the baby's brains, kind of
Oh
just
man.
saying like, yeah, like you're feeding your kid foodless food. She's probably not like breastfeeding her child. She's probably not eating the nutrients to give to the child. 5 first years of the child's life are the most important. Like I believe that the breastfeeding should go on until like 4 years old, obviously introducing like fruits and other kind of foods. But I think like for connection wise and just in general, I think like we should be breastfeeding longer, and like the babies just go straight to the formula filled with estrogen and who God knows what else. And then here we have in the back, it there's like a kid playing with little things, and it says I am God. And so it's kind of representing how the child knows like who she is from a young age before all the programming and the foodless food.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. On to the next.
Yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is the one that when I saw this is the one that really reminded me of Fear and Loathing and actually the Fear of Loathing and the Soundgarden video, and now that I'm thinking about it, the Alice in Wonderland. This is the one I saw. I was like, oh, this reminds me of of that.
Yeah, this one's very dark. That's one thing I really like depicting in my artworks. Like I enjoy making the characters look disgusting. I'd say that's my area of expertise. Like I want to create such a disturbing image that you can't help but to say like to yourself, "Oh my god, this is like, there's some truth in this." So here we got like the TV, and it says obey, and then there's an IV bag coming out of the TV, dripping out into her brain, and you got a moldy McDonald's hamburger, dripping in that brain, just frying it up.
Mm.
And then over here, we have gateway to fear, and then the guy's like chained up anyways. And so this is one of my favorite. It's covering the thing, but he there's like yeah, there we go. So it's like a cop from the future, and it's like straight out of the Matrix scene, and he has the red and the blue pill,
Hmm.
and the blue pill, there's a mask on it, and then in the back you got the guy with the full face COVID mask with the test, and he already took his choice, took the blue pill, got the New World Order sign, and it's like chaos, just like an apocalyptic kind of vibe in the background.
Oh wow, I didn't even see that in the background. I was just focused on the people up front. That's wow. Hmm. On to the next.
Yeah.
Mhm. All
Yeah,
right.
this is, I really like, I even put like a bit of text in here because this is one of my favorite ones. So, um, I was watching a KRS video, and he was talking about how hip hop is like a civilization, and it has prehistoric roots, and we're all a part of hip hop like in the modern day, whether we want to see that or not. And so, he talks about the elements within hip hop, and how basically like early hominin humans were doing all of these things. So breaking would be like the first thing people ever did was dance. MCing, it would be to utter. And this was like before we could even speak. This was before language, including beatboxing. And so, yeah, it's like the ability to create music from your own body as an instrument. And then, we got the graffiti art, um, which is the world's oldest art. The earliest human writing is graffiti. And they actually found like caves, I think in France, and it's like think 30,000 years old, and they were, you could see like a handprint on the wall, and what the people would do is like they would fill up like juice in their mouth, and then they would spit on the wall, creating, you know, an art on the wall. And so I thought that was pretty cool. And then my favorite, DJing, cutting, mixing, scratching, what the human does to technology, that is DJing. So yeah, technology could never teach or tell somebody how to DJ. So it's how you utilize the technology. And so I really like what he said here. So, to an early human, scratching will give you fire. Cutting is when you're hunting animals, or you're cutting herbs and things of that nature. Early humans the cutters were called stonemasons. Starts with the stone and starts cutting, mixing the blending of things that are not supposed to be blending. And so I really like this because I feel like that is my element, DJing, because that is what I do within this artwork. Like when I'm on my iPad, I'm like cutting, I'm scratching, I'm mixing things that you would never think would be mixed together. Like I took so many different little images and I was able to paint a picture. Like
Mm.
that, I mean, I can't even take credit for this. This is like something higher than me.
Yeah.
This is like something that wants me to make this artwork.
Is that Grandmaster Flash? That is him, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. You got the skateboarding. You got the. Oh man, that's tight. Look at that. Yeah, that's tight.
and he's DJing galaxies over here.
I didn't see that. Wow, that's tight. On to the next.
Yeah.
All right. Oh man.
Yeah, this one is something. This one is something else.
I'm getting a vibe already.
Yeah, here, yeah, this one, oh my God, this is crazy land. This is the crazy land of Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And already from the get-go, you see, this pretty sky that has a hole in it, and then we got the Hollywood sign with the pentagrams. We got some demons, doing a little ritual up there, and we got the light shining down, and we got a clown here, and it's like the road is painted pretty, but it's like the road straight to hell. And
Mm.
and then here, we got a bunch of signs like, Tinder ride, sell your soul, Silicon Avenue, smack that bitch over here. That's like a little arcade game. And so I'll go into like this one. So here, sell your soul. You know, we got like the girls in the background partying, and we got this devil, and he has in his hand, you want fame, fortune, and riches. All you have to do is sell your soul,
Mm.
and you'll get
Sign on the dotted line.
and then I don't know if you ever seen that arcade game where you have to like smack the thing, and
Mm-hmm.
then you if it like gets high enough and it rings the bell or something, you win. So I
Mm-hmm.
did that, but it's with like Botox injections. So it's like, see how much you can Botox her butt, and then so she got like the little hammer with all the needles there, and she got like the fake boobs and the fake blonde hair and the high eyebrows, the makeup, and then she has the Starbucks cup, and you see here I added a little her phone is like connected to her boob, and there's like, it's not charging because it's fake. um I had to add that one. And so here we have all these distorted women's faces. I think everybody's just trying to look like the black woman and like trying to get those features. So we have like the big, like it's really strange. Like here we have this girl. She's pumping up silicone, and she's got the fake tan and the blonde hair, and yeah, I'll leave that at that.
All right. On to the next.
Yeah.
All right. Oh Lord.
Yeah, this one I made like probably 3 years ago now, but here you have the cop um as a pig, and then we got all the people like in the background following straight line. We got the neighborhood watch, we are watching you going on. and you have these people protesting, but there's no message written. It's the universe, and this artwork was all about just representing the power that we hold within. And so I guess my message was kind of find the answers within yourself. Go
Mhm.
within, go within.
Mhm.
That is so important. Like before you interact like with the outer world, like you have to make sure you know who you are and like where you
Mhm.
come from, and like even beyond this body, like on a metaphysical level, like you gotta know what's going on.
All right. Moving on. Or is that it?
Yeah,
How
that
many
was
is it
it.
total? You remember?
Oh, yeah, I want to like kind of pick up, because
Okay.
I feel like there's quite a lot, so I don't
Okay.
want
Yeah.
to.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, this one, I don't even want to get too in detail with this one, just because I don't know all the facts. Like, I did major research when I made this, and this was like 3 years ago or so. So it's hard for me to comprehend, but it was basically when I found out that the the United States was like a corporation, and I was
Mhm.
looking into how we have two birth certificates. So,
Oh,
we
the
have
straw
this.
man.
Yeah, the straw man. That's kind of the rabbit hole I went down. And
Mm.
so, you got the Rothschild, the Federal Reserve, and he's this big fat old man, holding all the money and the gold in the world. And this is depicting how they're printing money, and you got a guy, chained up to it, just on the pathway to, he's a businessman, and but he's pulling the string to, I forget what these things are called, the medieval,
Oh, the guillotine, right?
yeah, the
Yeah, guillotine.
guillotine. So he's pulling the guillotine of another
Ah,
man, and he's gonna get his head chopped off, and
with
he's,
debt.
yeah, and
Credit card
here
debt.
is debt slave. He's slave to his debt. And then, I had to include the Monopoly game, because, that Monopoly game I was playing as a kid, it's more real than,
Yeah,
I would have thought. It's more than just a game, it's real life. And so
it's a
here we
blueprint.
have Jail, We Own You, and Uncle Sam as the IRS. We got back when Trump was president, and he's just multi-faced, he's just a puppet. And then we got the FBI and the CIA, like they're twins, like they're attached to each other. And then we got the twin towers in the back, and the national debt, and yeah, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, this is kind of heavy. This is some deep stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Every
Yeah,
single
yeah,
one is like, it's its own thing.
yeah, 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 yeah. You can gotta go down, literally go down a rabbit hole on a lot of these pictures just with the symbolism.
Oh
All right, so
yeah. Oh yeah.
on to the next.
Yeah.
All right. Oh
Alright,
man.
this is my first artwork I ever did digitally. Yeah, so this is when I was really upset, because I before I did digital artwork, I drew and I painted, and I would always draw these like monster creature looking things. I don't know, I've always been obsessed with the gory nature. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, I kind of tried to show that. And there's like a bunch of intestines and meat coming out of her brain. And yeah, this one was just more for fun, but obviously symbolism can be applied always.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
yeah,
All
so
right.
yeah, we can move on.
Hmm.
Yeah, this one I found it. I find it interesting how we go from drinking our mother's milk to drinking another mammal's milk. Like, it's very odd to me. Like, because when I think about going up to a cow's udder and like sucking its milk, like it would not be natural. Like, it is just, it's very odd to me. But when I think about going up to a tree in the tropics and just pulling off that mango, peeling it, I think, that clicks with me. So, you know, anyway, so I showed, like, here we got a cow breastfeeding a little baby up here, and this is like some hypothetical hospital room where we got the recipient. She's sucking up that milk from that cow who's being injected, because now they're making GMO cows, so you're gonna get that genetically modified milk, um, boosted with like way much more casein than normal. And I guess there's like links how casein has a narcotic like effect, so you get addicted to like eating dairy products and you keep
Mm.
wanting more. And yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much.
All right. Uh-oh.
This one was based off of George Orwell's novel 1984. I don't know if you heard about it.
Yeah, I read the book and saw the movie.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't read the book. I actually watched the movie, and after I watched it, I made this. Yeah, just that's this is when you know the lockdown was in, and so here
The
we got the
scam.
intercoms. Yeah, this the scamdemic coming in. So we got vaccinate, stay home, and this guy's got the barcode. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep, and that's the same picture too in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, I had to keep it in. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Yeah. This one.
Uh-oh.
I
I see
mean,
some familiar faces.
yeah, we got Bill Gates. I don't know why I decided to make him into Frankenstein. Um, I mean, there's definitely some symbolism there, but yeah, we got the whiteboard in the back with basically all the information of all the information I was gathering on what this vaccine is. Yeah, we got transhumanism 101, and then up here we got a picture of like, oh, this is where we came from, but this is where we're going. We're gonna merge man with machine. That's the future that
Hmm.
the elites want to go down. And then we got a bunch of kids in line getting the vax. Yeah.
Damn. I hope y'all I hope y'all checking this because it's interesting because like it's obviously you did a lot of research when you did this on each one. So I think
Yeah.
that's interesting too. So it's like knowledge is a knowledge base behind all this as well. So that's good. All right.
Here we got yeah, the title of this one is America, Land of the Free. It's like, yeah, we have so much freedom and we have access to pretty much everything we want. But there we go, we got the overindulgence. And then, you know, it's not even like I'm like, you know, dissing on these people. It's more so like it kind of shows how, like, yeah, here in America, like, the white man has everything that he could possibly want, and it's not enough. Like, why do you think he had to go and like, take over the whole world? Because it's just not enough. And it's like this deep, deep lack. And I guess this is represented in these people just overeating, overindulging because they're trying to fill some kind of void. And so we got the futuristic robots like, yeah, 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 don't do anything, just like sit down, like we want you to consume, watch TV. And like here we got like a little Dr. York photo of the D-Rose alien race in the back. And so, I had to slip that one in. And then we have they're watching TV, and then it's like alien invasion on TV because I feel like that's next. Alien invasion, everyone's gonna freak out. So, yeah.
I like that. All right, next.
Uh,
Oh,
this
there's
one
my man.
was,
There's my man.
yeah,
There's Doc.
this one was a Dr. York inspired art piece. Yeah, they're reading The Science of Healing, Man from Planet Risk. And yeah, uh this was, at first I was gonna kind of represent like Dr. York in jail, but then it turned into um kind of like him, because I didn't know what to do, like I didn't know where to take it. So then I kind of um put his like face into a cube, and I guess that was kind of representing like you can access that level, like you can access the mental level of like what he was saying, and like his information still lives on. I mean, although he's physically locked away, I mean, he's still alive and his mind is still there, and I think everybody can access that level of knowledge. I mean, you could read his books, but it takes like a certain level of, because every time I read any kind of books, like if I go back and I reread it, it's always a different understanding because I've kind of leveled up in life and I understand it in a different way. So, yeah.
All right. That was one of my favorite ones for obvious reasons. On to the next.
Yeah, here we got the astronaut on the
Oh,
moon
damn.
landing. Whether, I don't know. I don't know if they ever went to the moon or not. I'm not sure, but one thing I am sure of is that these beings are real and these beings exist. And I don't know. I think there's something, well, I know that there's something going on with the moon. Like some foolery going on in the moon. I don't know. Um, yeah, so we got the reptilian and the grays, and then this. I think I got this from like a movie. I forget which. Maybe Men in Black. The Men in Black. I took
Oh, yeah,
this.
yeah, 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 yeah. I
I
see it.
took this insectoid being. That's one thing I'm really, for some reason, I'm very, very fascinated by, like the different beings. Like, not in like necessarily a positive way. Like I'm like, ugh. Like I'm like, there's something that draws me to them, and I just want to understand. Oh, like what is? It's a weird fascination. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, unless we've seen them or experienced anything with them, it's all kind of like, you want to know more. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
if 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 you want to know more, some people be like, "Oh hell no, I don't even want to." But some people like, "Yo, I want to see a reptilian. I want to see a daggone gray. I want to." So you just got to eat more mushrooms. I guess you can see them that way. All right, on to the next. All right.
All right, here we go. This was another Dr. York inspired edit. So we got a guy reading the holy tablets with the codes, the binary running through his face, the green light, and then we got some pages, um, almost like kind of like a pocket, in in the matrix, and then we got the Agent Smith, he's like, "Oh, we got somebody waking up, we got somebody going down the rabbit hole. So, let's get our agents. So, whether that be like physical or metaphysical, we're gonna track down this guy. So, there he is in the glasses, like he's being tracked. And so, yeah,
All right. Oh man. Woo.
all right. Yeah. Save some of the best for last.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so here we got, the typical white Americans, sun burning, the sun is getting hotter and hotter. And then, we got she's reading the news saying, I'm allergic to the sun. And then I don't really know much about this, but like I added a second sun, and I was like looking into Nibiru and all of that, and kind of went down that rabbit hole. And then of course we have the chemtrails up in the sky. And then he's reading, this is the first book I ever got. I actually have it in real life. This is like a photo of it. I put it in the edit. It's the
That's one of
Melanated
my favorite
Children.
books. That's one of my
Yeah?
favorite books. That yeah, well, yeah, one of them when I first started reading because I had no idea. Growing up, you never told. You have brown skin, and
Yeah.
but nobody ever went into detail like that book about why what melanin is and what melanin is about. Never
Mhm.
until I read that book.
I love that book. I love
Hmm.
that book. Yeah, so we got the guy and he's got the green light, and I just find it like ironic how he's just like there and he's reading and he's understanding, like, cuz there's like pages about all the different beings, and like
Hmm.
that book goes in. That was actually the first book like I read the whole thing. And so yeah, yeah. So also one thing I want to add about like white people burning in the sun. I think that like my theory on that is cuz I mean I don't burn, like I've never burnt. I've always like tanned in the sun, but for those like who do burn and like get red, I think that that's due to like basically when the Europeans came over here, um in these colder climates. I think that um they were very mineral and nutrient deficient. And so I think like when you're not getting like the diets consisted of mostly meat and dairy products, so you're not getting your minerals. And so I think that that actually is what causes them to burn. Because you would think, like, how can you go out in the sun and burn? Like, how can the sun be damaging to you if it's natural? So I think, yeah, I think these people, they need to get on a different diet, and I think the burning would stop.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They need to they need to get on a melanin diet because I mean if you don't got no melanin, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah, yeah.
you
They
out of
need to
luck
take
when
that
it comes to the
CMOS,
UV rays. Melanin, they got some melanin CMOS. They might, they might not, they might have a chance, but I don't, woo, I don't know. The UV rays are kicking the butt, and that melanoma is for real.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I know. I'm gonna tell you this straight up. Like I know plenty of white people that um they would get little moles on their skin,
Mhm.
and it would look like a regular mole, but it would be skin cancer, straight up skin cancer, and they would go, they get it cut out, and they would be like it was nothing. And I'm saying to myself like, damn, you got skin cancer, and you just cut it out and like and put a band-aid on it. I mean, that's
Wow.
like the most unnatural thing you could see, and also just the mindset behind it of not seeing how dangerous that is and being in the sun and it killing them.
Yeah.
I don't, what I'm saying? But I don't know. I guess since I've never burned or never had any issues like that, it's really confusing to me. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because the thing is like I guess I it would cuz I was watching a video the other day by Jane Elliott, and she was
Mhm.
talking about how she was talking with a news reporter, and she was just she was being her blunt self, and she was like,
Mhm.
yeah, like white
I
people
saw
need to
that.
stop having kids. And then like basically talking about how like the sun is just gonna keep on getting hotter, and like we're not, they're not gonna be able to handle it, and I don't know, maybe they'll have to go back to caves, but it's like I guess I don't know enough. Like I don't know enough to like really say anything about it, but I guess it's like part of me, like I feel like I don't know, like everybody should have a chance. Like how can it baffles me that like how can you be allergic to the sun? Like how can there must in my mind I'm like there must be something wrong. So like
Mhm.
maybe it's just on a genetic level, like just it's just the way like your body is made, or it's like the diet, like the foods, like what are you, because if you're not having enough like minerals, enough nutrients, and you've been eating, and your parents and their parents have been, like I know like my grandpa, like he would eat 10 eggs every day, like that's not good, that's not good for you, but that's what their family lived off of, and that's just how it was. And
Yeah, it's
so,
it's a it's a and just it goes into more detail specifics, even in the melanin children when it talks about sun, melanin, and melanin recessiveness, and it's a scientific thing. You know what I mean? It's just straight science. Like when it just breaks down how the UV rays and it goes to the melanocytes and the melanocytes exchange and they absorb it, as opposed to like we was talking about skin cancer and UV rays coming down and hitting the skin that doesn't have melanin and it locks them up, and gets cancer. So
mm,
it's a science thing. You know what I'm saying?
so
The,
you think that they would have no melanin if you're
well,
basically,
it's
let's
it's
say
more
you,
so melanin recessive specifically. It's not. I mean, some people have hardly any melanin, but the correct term would be being melanin recessive.
okay,
Yeah, meaning that everybody has melanin. You have melanin to the darkest bluest black down to lower levels of melanin. You know what I mean? But you know there's different there's different levels of it. You know what I mean? You know what
okay.
I'm saying? And also the melanin is inside you as well. You know what I'm saying? Coat your organs, but it's when it comes down to, like we were talking about earlier before, it's like when you go back further, you go back in time, you don't have any people on this planet that weren't melanated. That's just the bottom
Mm-hmm.
line. You know what I mean? You just, there was nobody here. A lot of the races here now, because your main races are what, um, Negroid, Mongoloid, and Caucasoid. You know, at that one point, there was only Negroids. You know what I'm saying? That's why they always break it down how all races came from Africa, so to speak. So, it is a genetic thing and it's a melanin thing. You know what I mean? And it's a human thing as well. I mean, but because you look at somebody that has freckles, all that is just you know melanin trying to get out in different spots. And that goes back into people mixing. From down the generation line. You know.
I always wondered about that because I have like a lot of beauty marks, and I always had like I have two like really big ones on both sides of my cheeks, identical to each other, and I always, wondered about that. And I have a friend, and he was like, "Yeah, I have like a theory that like people that have like beauty marks, it's just like the people getting back to their true color." and so like they're gonna the and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, just I mean, a lot of the a lot of the questions you're looking for is in that scroll, the Melanite Children. That goes into a lot of detail about, the whole melanite, the whole melanin recessive thing, and et cetera. He goes into quite a amount of detail, and other books as well. But that book really goes into detail. But so what somebody asked earlier, I don't know if it's still there. I'm gonna kind of go. They were asking if let me go back and see if I can find that guy. They were asking, do you sell your art?
Yeah, that's something that I'm in the progress of making. So I want to sell prints and posters. So I'm going to be working with a poster company and I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
be selling them through Etsy. So
Oh, okay.
I just haven't finalized that yet. But
Okay.
yeah, because I would love for people to get like big posters
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. But I need to touch up the work because, right now, like, um, the rendering of the photos, like when I post it on Instagram and Facebook, like it's very low quality. And
Mm.
so, if you were to actually purchase a poster, you would see, because when I have it on my screen, it's like 4K, like it's high quality. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So the version you sent me, that's low resolution or high resolution?
Um, on the docs, I think
Yeah.
it's high, it's like in its natural form.
It's
So I
okay. It's
think
natural
that's the
form.
highest resolution. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So where can the people reach out? Where can they contact you for this new coming out art, or should they just wait till you get your Etsy? Should they hit you up on Facebook?
I would
what should they?
say Instagram. I'm most active. But Facebook as well. Facebook Messenger. Um, yeah, I will be sharing it on Facebook and Instagram once I do get that
Hmm.
established. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, like I told you earlier, that this art, I was making my own interpretations every time I look at one of your things, and I think that I came close, but but because I guess because I didn't really go into detail. I'm sure there's always something new I could see. So, all I can say is, keep on, like I told you, keep on learning, travel as much as you can, get that experience. You know what I mean? As much as you can. Don't let um don't let them people in Canada try to hold you hold you in, keep you hostage from going to see other places. You know what I'm saying? The Canadian government, but
Yeah.
um, get on out. Yeah, do your field work. You know what I'm saying? And keep on reading like you're doing. Keep on information. All those people that you named, Bobby Hemmett, Dr. York, Ivan Van Sertima, these are people that pretty much they got me in this information as well. And it's good that you says have an open mind enough to really even just receive that type of information. Me personally, I read a lot of information from a lot of different people. I don't have tunnel vision when it comes to information, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm able to, be diverse in my topics, my conversations, you know what I mean, just from being a diverse individual.
Yeah.
Um, so, that's all we got here, what I'm saying, the Polka Dot Rap podcast, you know what I'm saying, Alexandra Van Loon, that's Dutch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I know. Uh, but yeah, I used to know a whole bunch of South Africans, a lot of Dutch, when I was over there. Um, well, over in London, that is. But that's it on my end. Anything else you got for the people?
Not much. Not
Not
much.
much besides your art,
Yeah.
right? All
Yeah.
right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it was a pleasure, talking to you and seeing your art. And I'll definitely, hopefully we can you get some more art. Hit me up, you know what I'm saying? We get you back on there. We can talk about some more of your art down the line. And besides that, that's it. Of course, like I said, I follow. What handles that I got you at on IG and Facebook? Where can they get you?
Instagram. So two per pack on Instagram.
Hmm.
And then um, I don't know on Facebook if it's just the name, but it's just Alexandra Van Loon on Facebook.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, like I said already, Go to polkadot.rabbitpodcast.com, pick up pick up my book. You know what I'm saying? And that's it for us tonight. We'll be back next week with some more great individuals like we had tonight. Alexandra, thank you very much for your time and all your wonderful art. I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate your openness. And like I say in the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast, we're here to uplift humanity. And, it's always good to see another human being that's trying to be the best person and they can possibly be. I don't care what race, what gender, whatever the case may be. We got to get past a lot of that craziness. We all got to evolve and to grow up as people, as humans. You know what I mean? And see what the important stuff is, and that's getting connected to source. Getting your knowledge of who you are, knowledge of self. Your culture, etc. And you know, I'm gonna do my best. Keep on doing my best here at the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast to get great individuals to express, themselves and share. So everybody, peace and love, to everybody out there. And Alexandra, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, peace. Oh.